like shitty ones that aren't anything. Like this is a Casio, but like
Casio.
this is like Walmart Casio.
Casio.
Not like you know what I'm saying.
You know what the word Casio reminds me of?
Rufio.
Yes, and I actually saw a really shitty movie with Rufio in it.
Oh really?
It was.
Holy
was it called
shit.
Hook? Because that movie sucks.
No, it was some like.
That movie's actually awesome. Man.
No, I hate that movie.
It was like some fighting movie. It was so bad. It was so bad. When I was in San Antonio, my friend just put it on, and I was like, "What is this?" And he's just like, "Just watch it."
It's Rufio. Too.
He's very good at picking like really awful movies to watch.
Nice.
And he knows they're awful, but I keep asking him like, "Then why are we watching it if it's awful?" And then he follows up with, "It's funny."
Yeah, I mean,
and I don't agree with that sentiment. I just think it's a waste of time.
Have you ever seen Mystery Science Theater 3000?
Yeah,
but that's entertaining because you get the entertainment from that.
It's got to be
doing
bad enough. There's there's that gray area where things are just miserable.
When they're not standout like bad. They're just bad.
Speaking of bad movies, did you ever watch that Dungeons and Dragons movie I got?
No, I didn't. I saw that.
A gag.
I actually saw that when I was a kid though.
Oh right.
Yeah, and I remember
shitty.
Even back then thinking, this isn't anything like the fucking game.
This
is not like Dungeons and Dragons.
There is a dungeon and a dragon in it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, they like look at the game and they're like, oh, we're going to make like a human fighter and an elven wizard.
Right.
Just like most people would have their party set up.
If they made that movie today, there's no way in hell people would allow that kind of
They did make that movie today. It's called Warcraft, right?
Well, but that's about Warcraft.
Oh, shit.
And apparently, like, is that out yet?
Yeah, it's out. I don't think it did very
Duncan
well.
Jones, right?
I never expected it to do
well.
well.
He was working on that movie when his dad died. Too,
yeah.
You know? That's got to be...
He's gonna. I think he hates the movie. I bet. I
actually listened to
completely ignorant of anything he said about his movie. I bet he hates that fucking movie.
He sounded like he was very passionate about it. I listened to I think a Nerdist podcast with him.
If my dad died while I'm working on something, I would hate it no matter what. Especially if I had to finish it, because if it was up to me, I wouldn't have finished the movie. I'd been like, oh fuck this, I'm handing this off to someone.
Well, I think like one of the things that certain people grieve differently. You know, like some people don't want to fucking. Some people need something to work on.
Oh yeah, I can understand that.
I feel like it's probably.
I don't want to assume that's him though, even though I assumed other things about him.
I feel like he said something about how he played it when he was younger, and like so he wasn't like he knew about.
How old is he?
He's probably 40 something.
I would say like mid-30s.
This game isn't that old. World of Warcraft? That's like
mid-30s. Really? I'm gonna say 40 at least for sure.
Warcraft. I mean, it was based on the strategy game.
Oh,
as well.
Yeah. I did not know that.
Yeah,
I did not know that. Okay.
I mean,
that makes sense.
The internet's been around for a while now.
No, but he said when he was younger. Like I would
younger than
if I was 40. I wouldn't be like, oh, I played that when I was younger. I would have.
That's true.
Like I played that 10 years ago.
Well, you were younger then.
You're young. You were younger yesterday.
I
also wouldn't say.
I'm not wrong. Is all I'm saying.
No, It's just a little misleading.
Well, I don't know. He might not have said that at all, but
I see.
Wow.
But it seemed like he was very into it, and that led me to believe right now that he probably played it because he was into it.
Yeah.
Sure.
You guys didn't play Warcraft or StarCraft when you were kids?
I
wish I could have played StarCraft. I played Age of Empires.
Oh, that was awesome.
That was fucking awesome. I love that game so much.
Age of Empires, is that like civilization?
It's a little bit like
real-time strategy as opposed to turn-based.
Yeah. It's like shit is happening. Like you're trying to farm
the
same time.
Games this whole time.
Buddy.
You're trying to farm and like gather wood and gold and fish the same
you start
time
with a humble
that
farmer.
all of your walls are on fire. And it's like there's 3 different factions of enemies attacking, and you're like, okay, you need to defend this wall. Oh, I need more wood, so go chop this tree.
Super intense.
Yeah.
Catan.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's super. It actually kind of does remind me of Catan, like.
Yeah, it's like a resource game.
It is.
Yeah,
It's
honestly,
a resource
that's what
game.
I mean. Yeah.
But the resources also then like funnel into like making warriors or more villagers or like more buildings and shit like that.
The
and
only
you have to
computer
research,
game
too.
I played when I was like a kid was I played Sim Earth. I wanted Sim City or The Sims, but at the Scholastic Book Fair, all they had was Sim Earth.
Yeah.
So I got that, and I also played these like they weren't even games, I guess, just programs that were like creating animated Spider-Man, the animated series. Like you could make web like comics, but they were like animated. You can create your own shit. And the same thing with Garfield. Like, you can make your own Garfield strips. But it was like a program that had like all the
there was like
background.
Mario Paint for Nintendo where it was like...
I wish I had Mario Paint.
Yeah.
Because, did you ever watch fucking Homestar Runner? Are you guys familiar?
I didn't watch it.
The greatest Flash animation to ever see, Homestar Runner.
I didn't watch it until much later.
But you're familiar with it. The
yes,
first ones were made like on that.
Wow.
On Mario Paint. I don't know if
Paint?
I don't know if they ever made them on but the inception of the idea in the first, like, because you can
I see what you mean.
You can make animations on
like
that
the
shit.
idea came from fucking around on Mario Paint.
When I was a kid,
that's amazing.
My parents didn't want me to have any like violent games. My mom is rightfully so very anti like guns and violence. And so we had a regular Nintendo, and I just had educational, like, Sesame Street games on it.
Oh, man.
And then my dad got Duck Hunt because he wanted to play it.
Duck Hunt.
Yeah.
Well, it had Duck Hunt, and then it had, there was another game on Duck Hunt. It was like the 2 games. I can't remember what the other one was.
I can't remember either.
It might have just been Super Mario Brothers or something.
Maybe.
Something involving the gun. I think...
Yeah.
I remember my cousins were always, like... on the cutting edge of like whatever game system was out. I always went over to their house whenever I could, and they had Duck Hunt set up in their basement, and they had a big fucking TV,
not a 35-inch,
not a flat screen. It was like it looked like a closet, but it was a TV.
Yeah,
and I went down there and like grabbed.
Wait,
Duck
they were
Hunt
on the cutting edge. What year was this?
This was 97.
So they just had like an old. They weren't the cutting edge.
Listen, at the time it was the cutting edge. What are you talking
about? Duck Hunt in 97?
Yeah, I think you're like a decade off there.
Oh. No, I'm okay. Maybe that was a mistake.
Maybe
statement. I'm saying that they always had the cutting edge. They had a fucking PlayStation 2. I'm just saying they also still had.
You were playing Time Crisis. It wasn't Duck Hunt. It was Time Crisis on the Sega Saturn.
It was Duck Hunt though. It was Duck Hunt.
But did you play Time Crisis on the Sega Saturn?
I never did.
Oh baby, or was it on Sega CD?
I don't
think it was on Sega Genesis.
Yeah. It was on Sega Saturn, I think.
Yeah, my friend had the Sega.
I got the Sega before anything else.
Dude, I had Did you have the 32X expansion on the Sega Genesis?
My parents gave me
It's the
Game Gear because they thought it was a better idea to get one with color. What a fucking bummer.
What was the Game Gear? I don't even know.
Game Gear was the Sega version, like the competitor of the Game Boy. And there's a commercial where there's a guy playing a Game Boy and he smacked himself in the head so he would see colors.
Oh my god.
And they're like, there's an easier way, get a Game Gear.
Of course.
Something like that.
You can't convince anyone that anything's better than a Game Boy.
That sucker was like the size of a VHS tape.
It was awesome though.
Yeah.
So this is the Hair Club for movies.
So
and also the Hair Club for video games today, I guess.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My name's Drew.
I'm Andrew.
And my name is Michael.
Do you think that there's more podcasts out there for video games than movies?
No.
Or do you think there's more movie podcasts than video game podcasts?
That's a good question.
I bet there's I bet it's a close
even
call.
split.
Most podcasts require more than one people, and video game nerds
don't
have any friends.
More than one. More than one people.
More than one people.
That's true. All
right.
right.
I mean, some of them just do. Does it count if you're? It does count. Bill Burr's podcast. It's just him.
Yeah,
so,
people do. Yeah, like solo.
So I bet the video game nerds outnumber us.
Well, absolutely. People play. I feel like video games is the most ingested or whatever you want. The number one form of media that is probably consumed.
Yeah.
Nowadays.
Like you spend like 3 hours,
maybe a close second to movies,
or like 6 hours on video games
a day
because it's
I just
fun.
mean I feel like more people are like into video games than they ever have been, for sure.
Well, yeah.
And it's like considered an art form now, and it's much bigger than it used to be. What with indie gaming and shit like that, and things like Steam and like download shits.
Yeah.
And internet, like multiplayer, fucking, you know what I mean? Like but you're also playing through a movie. You know, kind of. Yeah. Especially if it's like a super interactive game or something.
I mean, I think the fact that independent game companies can exist these days and like actually distribute their product is really cool.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like so it's opened up wide now compared to, so it might not be the number one form of media, but it's the most accessible. I think even more accessible than movies now.
Well, it just costs money to get into.
Right, but kids, if you're a kid, you're fucking with that.
Yeah.
You know,
you're gonna fuck with that.
You're gonna fuck with it. You know, but you're not going to the movie theater, and I think that okay. So like, if movies are art, then the movie theater is the gallery.
Yeah.
And if you're watching a movie at home, it's the same as like looking at a photo of the piece of art. You know what I'm saying? It's not.
Yeah, it's not.
Right? Is that an okay comparison? Like it's a picture. It's an Instagram photo of your favorite artist's piece of work. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to going and being and experiencing.
I can
it.
see what you mean. Where like
there's a divide.
The ratio it was shot in was meant for.
Well, and also just like being around people adds to an experience. The fucking complete surround submersion situation. I don't know. That's just
it's an interesting. I mean, I still enjoy the shit out of movies at home though. Like
absolutely,
I really get to digest them.
Honestly, one of my favorite things about my PS4 is that I can put headphones, plug them into the controller. And awesome. So I watch movies at night while my girlfriend's asleep, and I'll turn out all the lights, sit down there with my headphones on, and like,
But that's like that's a form. You're still being like immersed in it. So it's similar to like, so you can do that. It's just like, I don't know. I guess it's more disposable now, and more like it's less of an art form. It's more of just a commodity. It's just content at this point, you know. And I don't know. That's a tangent that I had no follow through with at all. So this is the Hair Club for movies.
Yes, this week, Drew's pick.
We watched Funny People,
Hilarious Humans, and was it funny? Not really.
No,
not really.
No, there were parts where I was fucking gagging.
I actually
it was like hilarious, like quick moments, but
really uncomfortable humor that's like wouldn't be funny if you were there, but it's like funny when you're watching it.
Yes, but also like time sensitive. This movie was from 2009. And like there were some like super like not sexist, but like okay, so Adam Sandler's character is like an asshole.
Yeah.
And he's saying fucked up shit.
Yeah.
Like, and that's like his whole thing and making people uncomfortable. But even like the roommates, like say like faggy gets said a few times, and like if that happened now, like that character as a villain, you know.
I don't think so.
Well, but I'm saying the level of ignorance.
The word. I think there's not a level of ignorance. I think that just that word might not be used.
That's what I'm saying. But I'm saying like it's just interesting to see like 7 years ago like. That was okay, and we understand the context of it then. But now it's like, whoa, you just can't do it, even if you're that guy who's being shitty now. But like, you're gonna learn to be okay with him. You know what I'm saying? But if that happened now, it would only be like that would be a heavy moment.
Well, yeah, everyone else would freak out and lose their shit. But it doesn't mean that the way he's using it is like
no, I'm not.
Wrong,
I'm just saying like the time that has passed.
Yeah,
it like just that kind of. Just that perspective that we have on things like that is just interesting to me. Anyway.
Another thing I noticed, and it's relevant to this movie, so recently they've been trying to like ban cigarettes in all movies. Like Disney has banned them because they own so many franchises now.
Yeah.
It has a pretty big impact. In this movie, Seth Rogen's character talks about cigarettes but never once has one or smokes one, I think.
Oh,
is that
wow.
True? Does anybody smoke in this movie? Or
I don't know.
I don't think so.
David Tell does cocaine. You see David Tell doing Stoning Blow.
Well, that's okay.
Yeah, but for some reason, exactly. Look at what he just said.
Yeah,
but that's okay. Fucking people get so
I know when you
so uppity on one issue and then they can't connect it to like relating issues.
It makes me
that
really
are worse.
mad. That
fucking annoying me.
Actually, not to get too far off topic, I remember in an interview there was like this director, like Oliver Stone or someone was saying that there's been an increase in like the Pixarification of film, and he didn't mean that as a jab toward Pixar, just that like we don't make adult-oriented film anymore. Like not for teenage boys, it's like hyper violent, but really adult movies that are like for adults, not for kids, and are meant to be like serious films, so that you can show sex and smoking,
just life how it
within context. And
it's because moms hate it when like that stuff exists because they're like, what if my kid sees this? When I'm, out fucking, I'm cheating on my husband. Like, I can't have that.
Yeah.
I never pay attention to what my kids watch.
He'll never.
So therefore,
what will the
none of it should
babysitter
exist.
think?
What
will the babysitter think?
The babysitter thing?
We should do a summation. I don't want to do it. It's like it's fucking.
I'm gonna do
it.
I'm gonna do
you
it.
mentioned.
How about this? We do a 4-sentence summation.
All right, like
4-sentence
a paragraph.
Summation. Yeah. Okay, so
opening statement. Opening
struggling comedian gets picked up by successful comedian to help write jokes for him. Next sentence.
Okay.
Struggling comedian finds out successful comedian is dying and does very nice, gets the old guy to do good things.
Yes.
Third sentence.
Okay.
Gets the old guy.
Gets the other guy.
Yeah, I'm trying really hard to keep
old dog,
sentences.
new tricks.
I don't want to do run-on sentences.
Okay.
And then third sentence, old guy after doing great things and everyone starts to like him again, finds out not dying and then lives with the fact that that everyone liked him just because he was dying.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then
thought that at least.
Or thought that, yeah. And then fourth sentence, finds out that people do like him, but some last minute problems because he lied about dying.
And he's got some problems accepting love from people.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I was about to say that. Yeah.
All right, and then he doesn't die, and then he's angry at Seth Rogen, but then
they make up. It's
then they make up.
The final scene.
You know what I liked about that ending scene? Somehow jumping straight to the end.
Yeah. We kind of do that a lot. That's fine.
Yeah. But he comes back to the what was it called? Autos or something like that.
Deli.
And finds Seth Rogen. He sits at a table with him. And earlier in the movie, Seth Rogen's like, "Do you think you could look at some of my jokes?" He's like, "No, I'm not gonna help you with your jokes. I'm paying you to help me with my jokes." And he's like, "Okay, I get it." But at the end of the movie, it shows that he accepts him as a friend because he's not he's telling him what to Seth Rogen.
He's giving him notes.
Yeah, he comes with notes about Seth Rogen's jokes. That's like a subverted way of saying, "Oh, they're friends now."
He came to the realization
he considers him a friend
that he was being a dickhead to everyone.
Well,
and that's the reason why
that too.
Shit has been bad for him.
That's surface level, but subsurface, there's
now
we're
little, friends.
Exactly, it's like evidence. That he accepts Seth Rogen as a complete friend now. For sure. He's not paying him anymore.
I gotta say, I was pretty wishy-washy on the whole film, as I am about everything until that last scene, and then I was like, okay,
You were wishy-washy until
what do you mean
the last
wishy-washy?
Scene? What?
I wasn't until I didn't think it was. It didn't blow me away or anything.
Really?
Yeah. Same.
I feel like I liked this movie more than you did.
And I loved this movie when I saw it in theaters. I remember being affected by the movie.
Yeah.
But then, but time passes, and that was 7 years ago. I guess I didn't realize this movie came out that long ago.
Yeah,
2009.
Yeah, which says a lot about time, man. But I feel this is a pretty good movie. But I've seen other things that fucked me up. Since then, I don't know.
I feel like Judd Apatow's stuff doesn't age that well. I mean,
that's the thing. It's because of those jokes that were there were some kind of cringy, oh boy, but very man centric and saying what? Just I'm gonna fuck that girl, and just the way that certain things are phrased that are a little I don't know. Are
you kidding?
What do you mean?
You got that vibe from this movie? There's so many other movies that have that vibe, but this movie of all ones
it's it's because it's supposed to not be. It's only because the characters are supposed to be harmless, but the things they're saying are kind of still shitty.
They're not harmless. Yeah,
they're not harmless.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
So are you referring to when he's you have 10 days?
That interaction was really shitty because they're talking about this girl she has no say in the whole matter.
She fucking knows though. That's the point.
She didn't know.
He goes out, she didn't know to begin with.
And also, I gotta say, if my friend, I guess I see where what Jason Schwartzman's character came from, but if my friend said he liked a girl, I would definitely just be fine with it. I'm not gonna go after.
Well, he's a shitty. Well, that's what I'm saying. There are these characters that are shitty people, but then you're supposed to still like them, but they don't have any redeeming qualities.
No.
They're shitty people. But I think you're supposed to kind of still like them. You know what I mean? They're just a little lovable asshole.
Yeah.
But they're not. But it makes me maybe I'm angry because I've had some friends that are just like Jason Schwartzman. Super don't give a fuck about those.
Well, that's why I think that it belongs in the movie because it's just a real character.
Sure.
Sometimes
no, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I don't. It's just a little more. I don't know. It's raw, but in a fake way. I don't know what I'm saying.
In a fake way.
And it's I
Well, that's right. Like Judd Apatow's shtick is like everything. He tries to pull away some of the layers of untruth that like Hollywood like puts on their comedies. You know what I mean? Like tries to make things a bit more realistic.
Yeah.
And in this instance, I almost think he went a little too far, and it ended up with like almost no characters I sympathized with.
Seth Rogen is the only...
and not even that much.
And he's a shitty person too, because he fucking lied to his friend.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm saying. So
that part was fucking
So it's hard to sympathize with any of these characters because, like, they're all kind of assholes.
I sympathize with a lot of characters, actually.
And, like, even like, Seth Rogen being like...
they hammered out, like, a real conflict until, like... 3/4 of the way through. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I guess you could call it like an inner struggle, but I just think it was like...
Just finding out that he has cancer.
I'm starting to realize I think I have a completely different opinion of this movie than you guys.
That's okay.
That's fine.
I'm surprised you didn't like...
I like this movie a lot, but I think this is like the third time I saw it, and halfway through it, Becca and I both realized that we watched this together, like, not that long ago, like 6 months ago. And if I realized that, that means, like, I didn't take anything away from this. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, it's just in my subconscious. Like, I've seen it. I saw it in theaters, you know, when it came out, and I saw it again just this year, and and, like, that's, I mean, maybe, you know, I was drinking or something, but, like, still, like, I'm gonna take something away from that. It didn't leave a memorable memory, you know? Like, it didn't leave anything with me. But, that said, I mean, I was super effective when I first saw it, so I'm trying to now understand... Like, it says a lot about who I was then, too, that, like,
take a step back.
Take a step back. Let's travel back to 2009.
I think the first half of this movie was, like, almost not... It's not, okay, I'm not going to say almost perfect. Ooh. It was really good. It was goddamn amazing. Mm-hmm. Second half, when he gets into, like, the Leslie Mann story, it felt like a separate story, which, that's the only part I really didn't like about the film.
Oh, yeah. No, I agree with you.
After he finds out that he's not going to die... It sort of switches like what he cares about and what like the story is about completely changes. Like it just forgets the first half of the movie.
Right.
But the first half though, when he's like, he's completely playing himself in the first half of the movie, and then the second half of the movie he's playing an Adam Sandler character. If that's
what do you mean, like a character?
A character who's in love with a girl and blah blah blah.
Right.
Like it that's what it felt like to me, because in the first half he's just alone. And it's very like self-reflective, and it's just kind of weird that he even did the movie, because it either was his idea.
Well, it's Judd Apatow and Adam Sandler have been friends for like years. Like those opening shots of the prank phone calls.
Was there too, and
Ben Stiller.
Yeah.
But I think Judd was there filming them. Like that's like real shit.
Yeah.
So like he wrote this for Adam Sandler because it's his friend and he wanted to tell this story.
He probably I can imagine like Adam Sandler or the both of them, or maybe just Judd, like going back and watching those old videotapes and being like making them feel something about like where they are now.
Sure.
And it was so strong, that emotion, because it's never really been presented.
It's a story about
it's a story about funny people, and it's like where they started, not making money, just like having a good time being funny and making each other laugh.
Yeah.
It's like what happens when you lose sight of that.
Yeah, it was like the purity of youth, and then this is where they end up.
This is just like one of the only movies that I know of. There's probably a better movie out there that has the same sentiment, but it's the only movie that like shows the loneliness of just like an average guy who used to be an average guy who now has a lot of money and fame, and it just the scenes where he's just walking through his house and there's just no one there.
Yeah.
And like him enjoying certain things like his TV, and he just doesn't fucking work, and he's just like,
because he's fucking angry.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he seemed scared like the whole time. It was really good.
I love vulnerable, like dramatic Adam Sandler, dude. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I kind of wish that it was way more of him, like being alone, and in that.
Well, that's why I like the first half of the movie. That's
and
why
forth to Ira and shit. Like I kind of don't.
Well,
care
no,
I
connect. Well, the thing is, I think it did that. Because like you have to see both sides. Blah blah blah. You need to know what the motives of both characters are, but also there's going to be adults who watch this movie who connect to Adam Sandler, and I personally connected when I watched this movie to Ira.
Right.
Like where he had roommates, and they're all sort of like semi more like his best friend who's his roommate is like more successful than him.
They're all a bit more successful.
I was just about to say that the other one is like getting way more money than he is, and like just I knew exactly what that was like.
Yes.
To be in that position where everyone else is sort of succeeding,
doing the same thing you're doing.
Yeah. God damn it. Yeah.
I mean, I super relate to that too.
Yeah.
And I don't dislike this movie. It's just. I put a lot of weight in it before, because I even said on the thing like it's an underrated movie, but now I realize like, people just probably
give it what it deserves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's a good movie.
I love the first half of the movie. Because it's not like I don't like the second half of the movie. It's just the first half was like brilliant because of Adam Sandler's like presence there. Mm-hmm. It was obviously about him, especially all those movie posters when he's like a mermaid or a dolphin, or merman or like a baby. He's done those movies before, and like that disdain has to be
for sure
really with him.
Well, and that's why
I don't think it is anymore. He signed like a 6-movie deal with Netflix to make those god awful.
Oh yeah.
People.
No, he still does it. I'm not saying that he doesn't feel the same way about him, though.
The thing about Adam Sandler is, like, I've heard that he makes movies with his production company, with his friends, with the same people over and over again because they just have fun.
They just fucking like doing it.
And he's like...
And they make money, so
jokes on everybody else that makes fun. Because, like, he doesn't have to give a fuck.
He really doesn't have to care.
And, like that is beautiful.
Yeah.
That's the goal of any artist. He's a true, like, if you're really talking about it, he's like one of the true artistic comedians because he's following what exactly he wants to do, even if it's fucking.
I don't know if that's true because I think he gave up on producing quality content a long time ago and is now trying to just have fun with his friends.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It makes him happy. Like, and that's the end. That's the only thing that should matter. Yeah. You know, I mean, ideally, that's the only thing that should matter. That's the goal. Yeah. To, like, do the thing you love so you can just fuck around eventually. Who cares about the consequences?
Imagine, like, if Monty Python as a group stayed together and just kept making movies instead of, like, John Cleese was, like, a super artistic, like, integrity person, so they stopped.
He's an integrity person.
Yeah.
Okay.
Integrity person.
I should have said that differently, but the reason he stopped making he left Monty Python is because he felt like artistically that it shouldn't be beaten over the head.
It's like NSYNC, man. JT
but they
had to go
made things together.
They did, but I'm just saying, like, imagine if they did stay as Monty Python till like the very end, they probably would have started making like ridiculous,
like The Simpsons.
Movies.
Things have to die.
Yeah, things have to die, and John Cleese knew that. That's why he ended it. He's like, this has to stop.
Yeah. What are some of your favorite?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of people. They've all done their own things.
What are some of your favorite Adam Sandler films?
This one is up there. It's like, this one's got to be my second favorite.
Really?
Oh, okay.
What's number one?
I don't know. I ended up really liking, 50 First Dates after a while.
Oh, really?
I love 50 First Dates.
I hate that movie only because I don't think
Drew Barrymore's
What?
Because Drew Barrymore.
It's a good idea for a movie, though. I liked it. Out of all the Adam Sandler movies, it has like the most interesting like twist, or not twist. It's not. There's no twist at the end. It's just like a tweak to some like reality. It's very small, but like it works.
I held a big grudge against that movie because of that shitty 311 cover of The Cure's love song.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember that. I just remember the story.
I do.
Really?
Let's fuck that movie.
Okay. You must have really liked 311.
No, I really like The Cure, and I hate.
I meant The Cure.
That's a great song, and they fucking ruined it.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But only fanboys would remember that this long.
What am I if I'm not a fanboy of fucking the weirdest things? I love the OG ones, like
that's what I was
Billy Madison and
Happy Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore.
Those ones strike me as like the really childish ones.
But I can still laugh at those movies, man, because they're stupid and they're supposed to be stupid, and like there's no.
I know.
But I mean, Punch Drunk Love is great.
Punch Drunk Love is
about his dramatic ones. That movie, Reign Over Me. I remember.
Haven't seen that.
I saw it in theaters, and I remember really liking it at the time. It was super fucking dark and sad.
Yeah.
But like, it's cool to see him and like Jim Carrey too. Like I wish Adam Sandler would do more. He would be like an amazing Batman villain or something, dude. Adam Sandler as the Penguin or something crazy. Think about that.
Well,
maybe not the Penguin.
I can't imagine him.
Maybe
as the
like
Penguin,
that's not a good one. He kind of looks like
Riddler.
he could be a pig. Yeah, the Riddler. I guess never mind.
No,
that would be not a good one at all.
I don't agree with the Batman villain, but I do.
I'm retracting it because I just like started thinking about it, and it's like shitty.
It would always be
not
a
single
too,
good one.
Like
maybe like a lackey guy. You know.
I think Adam Sandler is just I bet there's no way he doesn't know that like Punch Drunk Love and like Funny People and fucking all of his serious roles, people care about them way more than his goofier ones that like make lots of money like Pixels, but no one really.
I feel like
did
Pixels make a lot of money? That was his money. Or his money. Really? Yeah, it was his money too. I think that was a Happy Madison production.
Shit! Pixels was starring him.
Yeah. Well, that's another one of those movies.
I don't care about that movie.
That's another one of those movies where people just get together and like Peter Dinklage is in it, and he's like, "This is gonna be fucking super fun."
Yeah.
You just run around and like shoot at invisible.
I'm starting to realize like. I can't say the movie itself is good, but like I understand why people pick to do those movies.
Yeah,
especially
like I would never want to watch that movie, but if I were an actor, I would want to be in that movie because of the experience I would get to have.
Yeah.
You know, like
kind of like how actors back in the day used to love doing, even though they were so overdone, used to like doing like old pirate movies just because while you're on set, the sets themselves are like so elaborate and like really involved. You get to like really play around.
Or because of the location.
Yeah.
Or what, you know.
Yeah, if you get to go to like a really cool part of the world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it might be a bad movie. I understand that people might accept it just because they're basically having fun.
It's like any kind of art, though. I feel like you have to approach it that way. Like, I'm not an actor, whatever. I don't know fucking what they... I listen to a lot of podcasts, guys. And I feel like the process should be the most important part of any creative endeavor. Yeah. So if you're enjoying what you like, what we're talking about, like if you enjoy what you do, then that's should be the fucking ultimate reward. I mean, and you're gonna get paid on top of it if it's a movie like that. Like, it's a no lose situation. Yeah. Nobody's gonna be like, oh, you were in that movie. Mm-hmm. Like, it's not gonna fuck you up at all because like there's an understood
don't you think there's something
expectation.
to be said for people that suffer for their art too? I mean,
absolutely.
There's a lot of people. We were talking about Dune that.
Oh yeah.
Was a huge failure and wasted 5 years of an incredible filmmaker's life. Yeah. And there's
5 years. I forgot it was that.
Yeah. Yeah. Or fucking Coppola.
Yeah.
Or fucking.
What was it?
The other good one?
Stanley
Kubrick. But mostly Francis Ford Coppola, like making movies for Apocalypse Now. Most notably, like. Fucking years and years, like literally in the jungle going crazy as fuck.
Yeah.
I've never seen Apocalypse Now, like I've said on the podcast, but I've seen The Heart of Darkness, which is the making of the Apocalypse Now, the documentary, which is amazing. Yeah. Fucking watch that. Yeah. Hair plug. If you care about the process of making art and like going insane about it. And that shit is amazing.
I gotta say, I think Billy Madison's my favorite Adam Sandler movie.
Yeah.
Billy Madison. I have memories of a road trip where we only had like 3 VHS tapes and we drove all the way up to Canada with Boy Scouts. And
nice.
We watched that, Boys in the Hood 2.
Boys in the Hood 2?
And maybe one of the Leprechaun movies.
There is no Boys in the Hood 2. You're talking about Bad Boys 2?
No, what's the horror film that's like set in the hood?
I just told you, we were talking about that the other day. Fucking Tales from the Hood.
Tales from the Hood.
You watched it? How did you not remember that when I brought it up?
No, I said I remembered it.
All right.
Yeah, because it was like a
Boys in the Hood 2.
Horror
That's
film.
hilarious.
If you Ghosts in the Hood.
Ghosts in the Hood. Yeah, because Cuba dies.
Billy Madison, I probably watched like 10 times on that journey. Yeah,
Billy fucking Madison. That's gonna be my.
I remember that actually on a similar road trip. My entire family, and then my entire other family of cousins were like taking our 2 gigantic vans.
Greyhound buses.
Yeah,
that's how many people you need.
Well, we had that many people. My parents had to own 12-seater or 14-seater vans. Right. We owned those for a long time.
Right. That's tight, dude.
I know, yeah, but that was it made road trips so fun.
Yeah,
all my brothers and sisters. But
do people when you stop just like walk up and try to get in?
No, but I mean, I can imagine that happening. But
it just looks like
people always gave us like, "What the fuck's going on?"
It just looks like the loony bin is out for a day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You have
we would both stop at gas stations at the same time.
Is there 8 of you total in your family or 9?
8 siblings, and then on the other family,
you?
Yes, 8 including me. And
so 10 people altogether.
Yeah. The other family that we went down with was like 9 at the time, I think.
So 21 people
or 8.
Was 8 kids and 2 parents?
Yes.
So like 20 people.
Damn.
That's
dude, it was so fun.
I guess, man. I love my solitude.
Really?
So like,
I do too.
Well, that's because you grew up with solitude. I think if you grew up with like,
well, I grew up wanting solitude because my brother was beating me up. So
anyway, the reason I brought up the story is because we both vans we set up like a really weird TV situation in the car where we had like adapters. It wasn't like a TV made for the car. We got a milk crate, shoved a TV in and put it in between the 2 driver's seats.
My dad was a carpenter, so when we drove to Florida every summer, we had like a caravan, Chevy, like fucking whatever, and he took out the middle unit, like cup holder situation thing, took that out and built a little cabinet, like a makeshift cabinet that he like attached to another middle thing that he screwed onto, and it had the TV, a little miniature TV,
hell yeah,
VCR combo with my Sega Genesis.
Oh, with your Sega
That's
too?
awesome.
Yeah, so it was between the two,
God
and we took out the second row of seats in the van.
We did that too,
and we laid down a green carpet on there. My brother slept on the thing, and I slept on the seat, or we flipped or whatever. Yeah. And we had a cooler with all of our packs.
That is exactly what we did.
Every year.
That sounds like.
And we had a turtle top on top with our boogie boards.
Dude, you're stealing all my fucking... I was about to tell that exact story.
We did, dude. That was our shit. It was the best, and that's why I love road trips, because it happened every summer. We'd leave at 5 in the morning.
Yeah. That was. I have good memories of that. And falling asleep extra deeply because the car vibration.
Yeah, and then you wake up and you're a different state, and you look around and it's like shit you've never seen.
How long was I asleep?
Amazing.
And now we're adults and we have to focus on like.
Now we're adults and in September
people.
We're actually planning a road trip to go. I don't know, maybe Portland, maybe Louisiana, maybe New York City, maybe Texas. We don't know. We're gonna do some crazy shit though.
Okay.
Because we miss it.
Or you're an adult and you have to fucking fly on a plane, which
flying's fucking great.
Oh, Andrew flew for the first time.
Oh yeah! Holy shit!
Andrew, how much fun did you have?
None
fun.
What did you not like about it?
Okay, well, I got used to it by the 4th
flight. Did you leave from here?
I left from Columbus, went to Nashville, and then Nashville to San Antonio. And then on the way back, San Antonio to Atlanta to Columbus.
So you had a connecting flight for your first flight? That's hectic as fuck.
It was. But luckily the first flight, I got to just stay on the plane. It was the same plane.
Nice.
Okay. But the second one, I had to hop off, fucking run, because, it was...
How much time? How much time did you have?
Anytime I'm in an airport, I always think of
that. All right. But when it landed, it wasn't taking off for like 40 minutes, but... The boarding time was like 6 minutes after we landed, and we just could not get off that plane because everyone was just standing still. The crew that was supposed to bring up the walkway wasn't there, and they announced on the plane, they're like, we had to switch terminals, and there's no one here to actually dock with us, so it's going to be a minute, but they're on their way. And then I got off the plane, I really had to, use the bathroom and just sort of change shirts because for whatever reason the air conditioning wasn't on that plane.
Oh,
and I was sweating. I was fucking... because you're shoulder to shoulder with people in those seats, so I couldn't lift my arms up, so under my arms it was just like a monsoon.
A little pond.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, in order to not go insane, I gotta change my shirt.
But
the actual flying part... scared the fuck out of me the first time.
Really?
I was freaking out.
Taking off?
I was not okay.
Taking off was the
taking off, being in the air, feeling those little
Did you have
out
a window
of nowhere
seat?
bumps.
Yeah.
No, not the first time, but then when we landed and took off again, I had a window seat, which somehow I liked better.
Better, because you can see
exactly.
There is it's that.
There's a cause and effect. You're not just like there's not just a monster outside checking the plane like that.
There is something on the wing.
Exactly.
Something.
No, but the first time when we were just going through those like little
just minor turbulence.
Minor turbulence, but to me it felt so bad. I couldn't see out the window, so I'm just like, what is going on outside this fucking plane right now? We are gonna crash.
Just some wind, man.
I know, god damn it.
It's just because you can feel everything, because it's hollow. Everything is hollow. You know,
I love flying.
In my ears,
I have
the whole reason my
I literally
ear is
have a
fucked
great
up.
time.
Really?
Every time I go. I mean, it's annoying to get on the plane.
You gotta
but
get drunk before you get on
it.
the plane. That's the key.
I was tired as fuck too because the night before, I worked from 11 to 6 or whatever, normal shift, and then my flight was at 6 in the morning the next day, and I'm packing my bags and doing random shit, hoping I get tired, and I get tired at 12 at night.
Yeah.
And I couldn't fall asleep. I was like, because I was so nervous.
Stayed up the whole time.
I stayed up the whole fucking time until my flight. And then when I got on the plane, I was even more scared because I was actually on it. I couldn't fall asleep. And then I finally got into San Antonio, and my friend was like so excited to see me, and I was excited to see him. We did stuff the whole day, and I didn't sleep a fucking wink.
Yeah, because you're running on that.
Yeah. It was a weird day, but it was really cool because at like 9 at night, we were about to go out to the bar, and he gives me like a mixed drink in his apartment. I'm starting to drink it, and I'm just like, I can't.
I'm gonna fucking
it's like, I can't do it.
Yeah, that's great.
I love this, but I can't do it. And I fell asleep for like 13 hours after that.
Yeah. That's what
Flying just makes me nervous. Yeah, it makes me nervous. I just can't trust any of it. I think that's the point. I can't trust a single thing about it. I'm like, what if the engine fails? What if the fucking pilot's weird?
But
what
if
there's someone on this plane that wants to kill me?
You drive a car every day, though.
I'm in control of it, though. That's the point. I'm in control of it, and I know what to expect.
Control that
It's the being out of control. Someone else is driving.
Right.
There's a bunch of people around me. We're in the fucking sky, and if anything goes wrong, it's just like plummet. Don't like it. I don't like it.
I guess.
But all that said, all of me stating all of those fears, it was extremely cool. Like when we took off and like we were doing this bank around the city, it was just incredible. Yeah. And I took a shitload of pictures of like the sky up there that was just blowing my mind.
Yeah.
I could not believe what I was looking at.
I feel like that shit never gets old. That shit will never get old to me.
Well, there's like
fucking
no matter how many Instagram pictures I see.
Yeah.
I took pictures of like the sky when I first took off.
Yeah.
It looked like, I just got to show you this really quick. It looked like I was in Antarctica. And I seriously like.
Andrew, I'm so excited.
Doesn't it look like
Andrew's gonna show us these pictures?
Okay, I'll show you the pictures,
and we'll be back in a moment.
Holy shit! That scared the fuck out of me.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to the Air Club Movie.
We do the movies and watch the movies.
The Movie Club podcast.
We're back.
Yeah. All right. We had a good break.
Blow out everyone's ears.
That was a good break, guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We should get a sound effect that's like, when you do a timeout in a team and then you have the huddle and you put your hands in, you go,
and
break!
It's just a bong bubbling.
Yes, that has nothing to do with the setup that I just implemented, but it
was just as funny.
Okay, so let's get final thoughts on your The Funny People by Judd Apatow, 2009.
You know what's weird? I've always thought about this with Judd Apatow movies. He's married to Leslie Mann. And
you're gonna say something that I was gonna bring up, I think.
Okay, yeah, he's married to Leslie Mann, but all of his movies don't include him, and it's like Leslie Mann doing really, it's not like crazy shit, but it's just like if I was the director and my wife is constantly like making out, kissing with other guys,
with like handsome
simulating
dudes.
Sex or whatever, like I'd be like, why am I doing this to myself? Like,
well, but
does he get off on that?
Yeah, he likes it.
But he's a cuckold then. He's a cuckold.
Maybe.
Like Judd Apatow is a cuckold. I'm going to say it right here. Yeah, you know what a cuckold is?
I mean, explain it.
Yeah, I definitely know what it is, but you should still tell
I am one.
You should still tell everybody.
A cuckold, no. The opposite. A cuckold, I guess, and it might have other terms besides like sexually, but usually it's a man that gets off on seeing his wife or spouse, girlfriend, what have you, getting had sex with by someone else.
Yeah.
That is usually like better looking than them, and like they like to be put down during it, maybe, and like
Well, they could also. I mean, I should retract my statement maybe because it could be that like he likes to include his wife in his movies because he likes her, but the fact that like most Bechdel tests fail in most movies, especially rom-coms. Like it just has to happen.
Bechdel.
It's
Bechdel.
Yeah, this one probably failed. Right?
Oh, I think every single Judd Apatow movie. Besides,
I was just about to say
but he redeems himself by working on girls, which is the funny thing. And I think Judd Apatow. I have to stop myself from saying Judd Apatow. But he does kind of simultaneously a little bit I don't want to say sexist, but it goes from the viewpoints of kind of comedy nerds, like the viewpoint of unloved, untouched by women nerds, but also is kind of in touch with his feminine side because of his wife, and his 2 daughters. So and he works on Girls, and he in that show Love on Netflix, which is a pretty good show. It's
I watched
it's a
that.
great. I think it's a good like comedy that's a representation of like romance and it's like all of its faults.
Yeah,
and, like romantic plunders.
Yeah.
But so it's strange seeing. I don't know. There's just like I think it means that he's honest about like he's being true to every side of himself. I think.
Like I said before, that's his thing. He wants to do like standard comedy setup, but with way more honesty than like we know.
And I think that what I was saying earlier is like it's just honesty. Like I think that's maybe I like to think of myself as like woke, right? But like maybe I am a little
what did you
woke
say?
AF, son? Woke as fuck. Have you ever watched H&M?
Enlightened.
Oh my god.
Yeah, enlightened. I don't actually use that word, Andrew. It's called
what is that called if you use a really stupid word to say that you're smart?
A joke.
Yeah, a joke. You're right.
A joke. Because the joke is I'm not smart. Okay?
So
God,
what
you derailed me! You fucking derailed me!
What would you rate funny people?
I'm gonna give it. I tossed and turned all night about this.
Really?
Am I gonna give it? It's gonna be a plus minus. It's either gonna be a Drew minus or a Michael plus. So or the gray area.
Which one is it?
In between. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a Drew minus. Drew minus.
Okay.
I just give it an honest Drew.
I'm giving it a Michael.
Ooh.
Man, you just don't like shit. Why? How is his name not the lowest? He does not like anything.
He's a flip-flopper.
Michael means straight down the middle.
Yeah.
That's so cheap. No,
well, it's like, I like it, but. He always says, I like it, but, and you...
I hate how you positioned yourself because
the thing is when you believe in something you're vulnerable. That's why I don't believe in anything.
That's what I was just about to say.
Everyone that believes in stuff is a dummy.
Your name
that's true.
Your name means exactly I don't know. Never mind.
And I always rate it my own self.
Exactly.
Your own self.
It's a weird self like
I own it.
masturbatory name.
Well, it's like we never.
Don't be redundant.
What was redundant?
Self-masturbatory.
Yeah.
Otherwise, what's the opposite of masturbatory? Like multipatory?
What?
Because what if you masturbate someone else? Generous. That's the word.
Yeah.
I love that. Like I feel like there is somewhere in our subconscious post when we found out we assigned our names as the scale. Like, I wonder if we would have never assigned our names as a scale, like, how we would rate these movies.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he hasn't given a Drew to, like, the past 4 or 5 movies.
Just because you guys picked them all.
One of them was your movies.
Yeah.
You remember at my dinner with Andre, you gave that a Michael, too.
Well, I had not seen that before.
Yeah, but still your pick, yeah.
That definitely deserved a Michael, guys. Anyways.
I agree.
He got an Andre, let's be serious.
You're right, I did get an Andre.
Oh, I had one note that I wanted, a couple notes real quick.
Let's just blast through them.
Robin Williams' suicide joke. There was a
joke
about...
I remember that.
Like, next thing, Robin Williams is going to come up here and slit his wrist. Which is fucking crazy because that's how he killed himself, right?
No. He didn't slit his wrist.
No, I think he died of, like...
he OD'd or something?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, whatever. No, either way.
He did not. Yeah, there was no way he slit his wrist.
Pretty dark, but like whatever.
No, it is.
Also, there was
it stood out.
A giant Bill Cosby picture in their apartment.
Oh, yeah.
But like, it's just one of those things. Like,
it's crazy
how like a little bit, not even 7 years, like not that much.
How
time.
much
the
can be brought to
chicken
life.
change.
Yeah.
My second note is I hate cameos that are clearly cameos, but I don't know who the person is. I hate that. It makes me feel stupid.
Why?
There's a shitload of cameos in this movie.
Well, you can just not recognize them.
There's that guy he's talking to, and I've seen him before, but he does all those voices and shit.
Yeah, he did.
I know he is. There's
voice.
A lot of the older comedians.
Okay.
A lot of the older people, like when they do the quick like kind of montage.
Oh, when he's like sitting at that table with a bunch of comedians.
There were like the older people that were his parents. I think they are probably older comedians. Like there are montages in movies.
Paul Reiser
But like they're a shitload. But like a cameo when you see him, even if you don't know the person.
Really enjoy.
It's framed.
And it's like there's like a pause for a beat for the holy shit.
Yeah.
And I hate it when I'm not like in on the joke. Like I don't get it. I kind of hate cameos unless it's like a everybody, like Eminem.
Well, this movie
everybody fucking knows Eminem.
This movie was kind of made for it, though.
It's about... It's a niche movie.
About actual, like, the actual people.
And I think that's why...
Only Adam Sandler is using a fake
It
name.
reminded me of Extras, that, like, the Ricky Gervais series, where it's like... I mean, that's part of the setup, is that the structures, there's a big cameo every single episode.
Well, that said, my last note is Dan Harmon, ! Right at the end.
Is he in this?
He's one of the journalists that are running up on him at the end. The main one is Dan Harmon.
I didn't notice that.
I didn't notice that either.
Yeah, I was hyped.
Man.
Because we talk about Dan Harmon, Batman, and Harry Potter seem to be the through line of all these.
Also, I was gonna say another thing. Aubrey Plaza and Aziz Ansari.
Yeah, I have
was this
that
right before Parks and Rec, or was this right after Parks and Rec?
Right before,
right,
I think.
maybe during.
Actually, I
probably
looked
during.
What's what I mean, like, but it was soon after.
Yeah,
It was like maybe first season.
Definitely like a big deal for both of their careers.
Well, yeah, and that's what I mean. Like, I remember seeing this the first time I saw this movie. When Aziz Ansari was on stage, I was just like, I didn't know who that was.
I forgot
really?
that he did that character too.
You never watched...
Remember he did the
on the
Randy
stand-up
character, he was like two different people, and that was one of them.
Well, this
was the first thing.
He did a stand-up special where he did okay, I got this movie coming out. I'm gonna take a break and come back as my character Randy.
Yeah,
and he did a Randy bit.
Oh, I see.
But I watched Aziz on Human Giant on MTV. Back in the day.
I didn't watch that.
And those dudes, Paul Scheer and Rob Riggle and Aziz, that shit. Seeing that early on, definitely shaped my sense of humor a lot.
Yeah.
Even you can tell. Sometimes I'll even talk like that. Kind of like a rapper does.
Yeah.
And I do that. I do that all the time.
You do.
And it's super influenced by...
You say that's tight.
But that's just
that's
just
dope.
people I hung out with and shit. It just I had a mashup of
I'm
friends
angry at you
that
because
were...
I start to say those.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Well,
I hate
it's infectious like that.
Dope is one of the things I've been called
I
out
said
on
to
for
my...
saying.
I was on Xbox Live and talking to all my friends, and it slipped out of my... I said, that's tight, and I wasn't even being sarcastic. And they all were like, what? And I was just like,
It's just one of those things, I just had such a, patchwork group of friends that, I grabbed culture from a lot of different kinds of people. Yeah. And now, but I definitely subconsciously stole that shit because one of my good friends, Zach, was super obsessed with that show, and he's the one who showed me, and he talked like that, and let's go do the thing, and I'm doing this with my arms, and that's the Aziz thing, that is synonymous with Aziz now, but Paul Scheer is super like that too. Paul Scheer, gap teeth comedian. Anyway, tangent.
That's awesome.
But Paul Scheer too, also a podcaster.
He was on How Did This Get Made? Mm-hmm. Right? Yeah.
All right, I think it's time.
I believe it is.
For
real quick, I got two. I'm going to give a 12 second reviews.
Hair plugs.
Of some hair plugs that I saw over the past couple weeks.
Yeah, don't jump the gun.
Okay. It's not time.
Usually I'm the one that says a bitch. I saw Swiss Army Man.
Yes.
Which... I'm not going to say my favorite movie of all time because that's it's too quick. I'm going to let it...
Seems hyperbolic, yeah.
Yeah. But I have never... But that's my MO.
Yeah.
I saw it in theaters and I can't remember a time I've laughed so genuinely and so uncontrollably and also felt so much to the point of tears but just not quite. Did you guys haven't seen it, right?
No, I really want
to. You have to. I feel there's never been a movie that has been I feel like the directors and I could have made I should have made this movie.
Yeah.
Because but they just did it.
Yeah.
It came out of my fucking psyche, dude. Farts, boners, and a lot of emo. Hearts, a lot of love and heartfelt shit. But farts and boners and dead bodies and darkness. The opening scene is a guy trying to kill himself. Yes, I love this movie.
Okay.
Blew my mind. It affected me deeply. Also, I just saw Ghostbusters. Mm-hmm. And I don't understand people hating on it. All the people that are hating on it haven't seen it.
You did say something weird on the Facebook. You said that you thought the first Ghostbusters was not as good as the second one. I
just watched the original one a couple days before we watched the new one. Uh-huh. And I don't laugh out loud at the movie. I prefer Ghostbusters 2. I love Ghostbusters 2. I think it's
you're in the minority there.
Yeah,
you're in the minority.
I know. I'm realizing recently, like I'm in the fucking like minority, super unpopular opinion boat. Yeah. But that's cool with me. That's fine. I like what I like, and that's
the podcast that I listened to saw the movie and they didn't like it.
Okay, but
they weren't. They're up in arms. It was just like
they're a different person.
Yeah.
Than me. I'm not them. I don't give a shit about what they have to
say.
But I'm saying I need a catchphrase. You got yeesh. And you got old mama. And I need a fucking catchphrase.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
I don't know, man. I think everybody should go see it for themselves and judge.
I can't spend money on it. That's
the biggest thing.
It's like when Ghostbusters came out, it was fun, and it was like a fun thing. Nobody like put anything on it, didn't expect anything on it. And I feel like if people just go in open-minded to things,
it's impossible though. It's Ghostbusters. They use the same name and like the same everything. Like,
but I love Batman, and every movie I go into, every Batman movie, I go in open-minded. I liked Batman vs Superman.
We don't need to talk about Batman vs Superman.
I'm saying comparing
like fourth podcast.
I don't care. I'm just driving these things home that like people hate things because people say that they should hate things, and they get that in their mind.
Actually, I'm going to agree with you there.
Yeah.
I agree with you too, but on both sides of that coin, people like a lot of stuff too because they're told to like it.
It's true. There's like this. Because criticism is so widely available.
Yeah.
A lot of people, they're like groups of friends when it comes to movies, restaurants, if people are like foodies, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Their opinions become very insular, and they won't disagree with each other so often. Yeah, and I think it becomes it's not good for anything.
Yeah. Absolutely not. And I've been coming... the older I get, the more and more comfortable I am with having my own opinion and being proud that I am not like... Yeah. Well, I don't want to be guilty pleasures.
Yeah.
I think that's bullshit. If you like something, you should not feel guilty about it at all. I hate I have friends that will admit they like things and that's retarded.
Yeah.
Like I don't understand
it's because of their environment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Anyway,
my hair plug is the new Netflix series Stranger Things. I got to say this is it hits like all the right notes for me. It's not very long. It's only 8 episodes, almost a mini-series. It's about kids set in the 80s. Like, it's very nostalgic, back to like a throwback classic Steven Spielberg films. Mm-hmm. I actually read all the cop uniforms and trucks are stolen directly from Jaws. Like, they use the exact same designs on purpose. It focuses on kids... Opening, closing scenes, maybe not the closing scenes, are Dungeons and Dragons games. Mm-hmm. And they actually...
Every single opening scene?
No, just like the whole season. But like they actually use what happens in the D&D story as like foreshadowing for... It's very cool and like just really well done. The kid actors are great, which they often bother me, as you guys know.
Yeah, I know.
The whole thing was great. Really good characters, like dynamic. Even the villains are good characters.
Yeah.
How did this...
It was made by the Duffer brothers.
Duffer?
And it's like the first thing they've done. And it was made for Netflix. Honestly, I don't even think the budget was huge or anything. There's some really good special effects, I'd say, but they're limited. They're
done
not
well. They use their budget
over the top.
It's set in Indiana too, I think. So that makes me happy.
You know what's funny?
Great. Watch Stranger Things.
You just said their names were the Duffer brothers?
Yeah. Doofer.
Exactly. Right there. Right there. No matter, even if they make...
Well, it could be Duffer.
Best.
I've never heard
If it's Duffer.
Duffer.
They could make the next... They could make the next, like amazing...
The next Godfather.
The next Godfather, and they still...
Gonna get hate.
They still gonna
get
hate.
Like a tagline would be like...
Coen Brothers, it's poetic. Their names is it's very it just sounds good.
Well, and also
Duffer Brothers.
We grew up with the Coen Brothers, so that sounds like even more. If I hear anybody that's got the last name Coen, I almost immediately respect them.
More. Yeah, you're just like,
oh, you're Coen.
Well, that's like Leonard Cohen.
Allegedly, the reason Bill Murray agreed to do the Garfield movie
because
the script was written by a Coen, and he assumed that it was a Coen brothers, and it wasn't. But that's another Bill Murray. Like, who knows if it's true?
I doubt that Bill Murray ever believed that the Coen brothers would work in any capacity on the Garfield movie.
Also cameos in the Ghostbuster movie too. Okay.
Oh shit!
You know what time it is?
Hair spoiler.
Who are you going to quiz?
It's time for the quiz. All right.
Oh, Andrew this was your second
victory.
Oh, is this your second earned
Shit,
quiz?
I haven't gotten one in a while. I gotta focus.
Hell yeah, you can get this one.
Fuckus.
I know you can get this one.
Fuckus.
All right.
Go fuckus yourself.
This movie came out in 2002. I'm gonna try and do this really quick.
Oh.
No.
To make sure.
Let it simmer.
I've been noticing that there's been a lot of dead air while we do the quiz where someone says the clue and then we're just like...
We should have a song playing in the
Dead
background the whole
silent.
time.
No. That's not that's just as bad as silence. Shut up. Second main character in this movie doesn't appear until halfway through the movie.
Okay.
Like the supporting, I guess.
Okay.
No, it would be second main character. And then, okay. At a glance, this is going to be a good one. Don't do that.
Do what?
Okay, whatever.
Dead air, Andrew.
All
Keep
right.
going.
At a glance, this one could give it away. At a glance, this movie could be mistaken for Twin Peaks. Still no? Okay.
No.
All right. The main character's name comes from the Spanish word dormir, meaning to sleep. You can get it. You can get it after those two.
Thanks.
No?
Nice.
Okay.
Sleep.
All right. Harrison Ford was also considered for this main role, but was
That's not really.
beat
That's
out.
not really a clue.
It's just a little trivia thing.
What was the Twin Peaks clue?
It said at a glance this movie could be mistaken for Twin Peaks.
Okay.
Think of setting.
Okay.
Think of
Fargo.
what actually happened. No, that's a good guess though.
Good guess.
That's a good guess.
Good guess.
But it came out in 2002.
2002.
This one could really give it away. I'm just gonna start listing the actors.
Oh
Okay.
shit.
Oh.
Hilary Swank.
Boys Don't Cry.
No. Supporting actress. Kind of the third
I can't
third
think
most
of
important
fucking
character.
Hilary Swank.
Okay.
Hilary Swank.
The Bone
movie?
Collector.
No,
That's Miss Congeniality.
Speaking of suicide.
The Lovely Bones.
No.
Oh,
There was we literally mentioned who was in this movie about the joke in front of
Robin
people.
Williams. What Dreams May Come.
No.
Dead Poet Society.
No.
World's Greatest Dad.
No.
2002. 1 Hour Photo.
No. That's a good. It came out the same year.
Oh.
It came out the same
Death
year
to
as.
Smoochie.
No. It came out in the same year as. Robin Williams did both this movie and 1 Hour Photo.
And wait, Hilary Swank.
Insomnia.
Hilary Swank. Yes.
Fuck yeah! I love this movie.
Yeah.
Dude, Christopher Nolan.
Yeah. First Christopher Nolan movie.
Yes, dude, this movie's fucking great.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites.
Damn it.
I did, dude.
Yeah.
I was about to just like try and throw it to you by saying Al Pacino lead character.
I don't remember anything about this movie.
Insomnia.
Yeah.
He's Insomniac. He's an Insomniac.
Is this...
It's a good movie.
Okay, I walked out
Fucking
of
great
1 Hour
movie.
Photo with my dad
After
because it
1
was
hour.
like... it was a double feature and it was the second one and we were both like not feeling it. We just left.
I've never seen it, but I want to.
Yeah.
Everything I see with Robin
Also,
Williams
good news
now,
is that this is on Netflix.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For
sorry,
one
I gotta start looking on the flicks.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Maybe I'll
Okay.
limit myself by only choosing things from Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tried to do that this time.
I thought about doing that. Originally, that was the plan, but then it's just like
There's not enough.
confining. But like now, I want to be confined, kind of.
Damn.
Awesome. Hell
Okay.
yeah. I'm psyched.
Cool.
It's one of my favorite Christopher Nolan movies.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it can't really name a bad one.
Well, there is no bad one, but another trivia thing I read is that the Insomnia, this movie, is the only movie that he did that wasn't nominated for awards. And it also isn't on like the top 250 IMDb.
The only one.
The only one
Oh,
of Christopher.
it's a failure.
No, the
Every
only
other
one
one of his movies
exactly.
are like movies you have to watch.
That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
But so this is considered a failure just because it's not amazing.
But I consider it one of his best.
Yeah, dude.
By
This is
far.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Well, he's only made like
it's a-
5 movies, right?
No.
It's a good companion with Memento.
Yeah, it is. It is.
I think it feels like in the same.
It's in the same sort of tone.
like your mind betraying you.
Yeah.
Kind of movie.
It really is. He was really into that early on.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
I'm glad that you don't remember anything about it because
No.
It's
it's
one
a
of those.
good movie. It's a good movie.
Christopher Nolan is definitely king of the twist.
Yes,
Or king
he
of
is.
Alfred Hitchcock, and M. Night Shyamalan, of course.
M. Night Shyamalan was...
The one movie. No, 2.
He fell into the throne and then
Unbreakable.
very soonly... Unbreakable?
Did you ever see Unbreakable?
Yeah, I like
Unbreakable,
Unbreakable.
yeah. Never
Yeah,
mind,
that
right,
movie's
yeah.
fucked up.
I haven't seen it.
You know, they were going to
tight.
make a trilogy out of that, but it was a
Yeah,
flop.
we've talked about it.
It would have been trash.
Yeah, probably.
There's no reason to make a trilogy out of that.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
anyway.
All right, cool. It's getting hot in here.
So take off all your clothes. All right, guys. I like hanging out with you guys up here. Mm-hmm. It gets all sweaty and the truth comes out.
The truth comes out.
All right. Follow us on iTunes or whatever.
Instagram.
We never post. You guys gotta help me out.
Why don't you post something?
I know. Actually,
you didn't post anything.
I don't post anything ever. I need to change that.
People will find it. Who cares, man? It's like a time capsule.
I've been saying it for almost a year now, but the second I get that video editing software.
Oh yeah, for other reasons too.
Yeah, I'll be able to start making more stuff.
Porn.
Oh yeah, that too.
It's the Hair Club for Movies.
I need to get a camera before I make porn though.
The Hair Club for Movies.
You need to get something else before you make porn too.
Yeah.
We watch the movie.
Paprika.
Because it's Hair Club for Movies.
A boner.
Goodbye.
A boner?
Goodbye. You don't have the program up, so you can't even stop it.
A boner?